Super Mario Bros. Wonder has been out for well over a week now. It's been my most anticipated game of the fall, even surpassing games like Starfield and Spider-Man 2. The most exciting thing about this game in particular is that for the first time in what feels like forever, we're getting an experimental 2D Mario again. For the last couple of years, we've had to deal with new Super Mario Bros. Syndrome, which usually resulted in the same games being copied and pasted over and over again. The only game I would consider somewhat unique were the first two. After that, the latter two games, 2 and U, just kind of felt like retreads of Wii. Personally, DS was my favorite due to the unique bosses, power-ups, and level design that it had. It is genuinely so refreshing to see Nintendo listen to the fans and give us a completely unique 2D Mario experience that we've never seen before. And oh boy, is Super Mario Bros. Wonder a treat. This is a game that's had me in awe for around the 12-hour playtime it took me to complete the game. There's just so many collectibles, so many unique wonder effects, so many new enemies, so many new locales that are so fresh to the Mario universe that I could honestly go on forever talking about just how unique this new entry is. So without any further ado, let's take a look at Super Mario Bros. Wonder to see if it can really stand amongst the best in Mario history. Right off the bat, the game doesn't waste any time in introducing you to the new mechanics of the game. The new power-ups, the new enemies, the new badges, the purple coins, and of course, the wonder effects. The second level in this game is the freaking singing piranha plant level. The second level! The moment I saw that, I knew that I was going to be in for one of the best experiences I've ever had playing a Mario game. And it's not even like these wonder effects are only in a couple of levels. No, these are in every single level. And the variety of what these wonder effects entail is also quite spectacular. There's stuff such as, of course, as you just saw, the singing piranha plant effect, the effect where you start walking around in a 3D environment. There's also, of course, the pipe one. There's one where you float around in space. There's one where you're jumping on a bunch of hippos, one where you're riding a bunch of bubbles, one where you become a literal Goomba and have to play stealth like it's Metal Gear Solid, and one where you turn into a giant blob. Just when you think you've seen it all, Nintendo keeps surprising you again and again with just how innovative and unique these wonder effects can get. But if you thought that the wonder effects were the only thing that makes this game great, oh boy, there is way more than that. Another amazing feature in this entry is badges, which when equipped can give you a special ability during gameplay. But by far, one of the best things about this game is the unique character roster. You have Mario and Luigi and the Toads, your usual 2D Mario characters. Nabbit also comes back, and the Yoshis are actually their own separate playable characters this time. And for the first time since Super Mario Bros. 2, Peach is playable. But more significantly, making her mainline Mario debut is Princess Daisy. I've always been of the opinion that Princess Daisy is the superior princess when compared to Peach. Not better than Rosalina, but a really close second best. So to have her playable in a mainline Mario game for the first time is absolutely surreal. You could bet I was maining Daisy and Luigi the whole way through this game. The only issues I have is that I do wish they could have added maybe an extra character, but there's always room for DLC. There was something that said in the age rating that there were going to be in-game purchases available. Could that potentially be paid DLC later down the line? Who knows. Another issue I have is the fact that Yoshi specifically was designated to an easy mode character. This unfortunately turned me off from using him in the main game, but overall, it's not the biggest issue in the world for me. Another thing I want to praise about this game is while it doesn't have a challenge mode, there's several in-game challenges within the game. My favorite of which being the Wiggler races, which kept me on edge for every single last one of them. There's also the KO arena. Here, you'll go against several different waves of enemies within the game, while trying to do it as quickly as possible. The quicker you do it, the more 10 coins you're guaranteed to get at the end of the level. There's also, of course, the various badge challenges, which is how you obtain the in-game badges. And then there are the search parties, where you have to try to find 5 hidden wonder tokens in order to complete the level. Out of all the challenges, these ones are the ones that stumped me the most. I honestly had a real hard time trying to find some of these wonder tokens, and I actually had to use a guide for a couple of them. It shows that the game is not afraid to be challenging. which is another thing that's worth being praised. Unlike the new Super Mario Bros. Titles, this one is not afraid to give you a bit of a challenge. Especially with the late game levels, I'd say this might just be the hardest 2D Mario game since Super Mario World. And that's all we really ever wanted, to stop making 2D Mario games that were specifically aimed for young audiences, to get a game that everyone can enjoy. Now we're getting to the part that most of you have probably been waiting for, the power-ups. And man, this game introduces some absolute banger power-ups. Of course, there's the titular elephant fruit, which turns you into, well, an elephant. All I can say about it is, they weren't wrong saying wowie zowie every time you put it on. Not only can you attack with your trunk, but you can also suck up water with it to be able to water the surrounding area. Then there's the drill. This takes the concept of the drill from Mario Galaxy and makes it into a power-up. What else can you say? Being able to travel through the top and ground of levels makes for a really unique traversal. And then there's the bubble flower. It's broken. Enough said. This was honestly close to being the perfect 2D Mario game. However, unfortunately, there is one major thing that held it back. You see this boss fight against Bowser Jr.? I hope you enjoy that being the only boss fight of the game. That's right. Bowser Jr. and Bowser are the only bosses in the entire game. Kamek is even in the game, but he's not even a boss at all, or has any involvement outside of bringing in airships. And the airship bosses, if you can even call them that, are just simply running to the end of the stage and pressing a giant button, which is incredibly disappointing as well. Honestly, this would have been a great way to bring back the Koopalings. With all these new wonder effects, it's ripe for potential. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. I do understand what they were trying to do though, trying to make some of the wonder effects sort of like the game's bosses. This is most evident with the King Boo fight, which I absolutely love. Unfortunately, these are all on the easy side, for them being wonder effects and not full-on bosses. So overall, the boss aspects of this game are incredibly disappointing, and it's literally the only thing I do not like about this game. Other than that, this game is pretty much as close to perfection as any 2D Mario game has ever gotten. Going from the bland generic worlds of New Super Mario Bros. To the unique, fresh, and vibrant worlds of this game that are unlike anything ever seen in Mario before, to the brand new open world map system that doesn't just leave you restricted to one path, the excellent controls, how useful the badges are, the wonderful music that finally ditches the freaking boss. This is in my top 5 favorite Mario platformers of all time. I do feel among 2D platformers that take place in the Mario universe, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and maybe even Donkey Kong Country Returns are still better than this, but still, if we're bringing up the Mario tier list, yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is up there. But of course, all these games are terrible compared to Super Mario Brothers 2 Game of the Year. Game of the Year. Super Mario Brothers 2 Game of the Year. There's no comparison. There's nothing else that